Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. I have defeated One Knight in Karazhan, and at this point, One Knight in Karazhan has defeated me. I have had to do a deck rebuild for every single character class, all 9 of them, twice over, once for standard decks and once for wild decks. And we are finally in the last quarter mile, as we only have to rebuild the warrior deck for wild left. So I deleted the warrior wild deck from memory, so we'll have to build it from scratch. But it's not as big of an issue as you would think, because I have it in my Hearthstone deck tracker, so we can look at it. It seems what I was doing was I was experimenting with charge creatures. Just everybody has charge. And that got me 11 victories out of 23 battles, which is 48%, which is kind of a good ratio there. Let's see what Karazhan adds to see if that helps or might change things. We have Protect the King for each enemy minion, summon a 1/1 pawn with taunt. I was thinking maybe do a taunt deck. Unlimited attacks with full bane, but it can attack heroes. I don't know if that's ever really useful, and then this one I think is definitely useful, so I'll throw that one in first. If I was going with taunt, there's a couple of taunt things we could do. Taunt, and the problem with taunt is that it's really not a class of characters. Almost half of the cards in the game have taunt. I would say probably less than that, half by a lot, but it feels certainly like close to a third maybe. I'm just guessing. Alright, so we could, I don't have a real problem with the weapons that have a 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy, because it really doesn't matter. Here's the charge minions have +1 attack. This card used to do something different, and it's become nerfed. 1 damage, so I can do enrage, I can do taunt, I could do taunt and enrage. This one takes damage. Let's see. I think I want to do charge though. I think I still kind of want to focus on charge. This one's a mech, so I could maybe do a mech deck. I don't think so though. This weapon is, I believe, the best you can get out there, so we'll take that. When you gain armor, this minion gets attack. Gain 5 armor. Maybe I should do armor. Attacking a minion. Something's weird here, because it certainly doesn't feel like I have. Let's see. Doesn't seem like I have that many cards going on. And I'm just throwing cards in willy-nilly right now. Did I not start at the beginning? Here's a pirate. If you control another pirate, get +1/+1. Should I do a pirate deck? Maybe. I mean, it would make some weapons cheaper. It would make some weapons stronger. Let's see. Deal 2 damage. Give you a hero +4 attack this turn. I'd take that card. Definitely. Take that card. Taunt minions +2/+2. Alright, let's start thinking. What do I want to get rid of? I don't think I'd ever have 2 of those weapons. So let's get rid of that too. Let's see. So now, destroy a damaged minion. If you're holding a dragon, gain +1 attack and charge. We can get rid of that one. And armor. Give your minions taunt. Can't be reduced below 1. Taunt. Armor, draw a card. Equip a weapon. Let's see. So I'm still pretty willy-nilly here. Other things with armor in them. This one. Deal 3 damage, gain 3 armor. I'll take that. Instead of gain 5 armor and draw a card. Maybe that's how the warrior wins. He just wins by having more health. Alright. This one doesn't have anything to do with armor. This one doesn't have anything to do with armor. And this one, even though it's called armored, doesn't have anything to do with armor either. And then the next thought is the taunt. Cards. Battlecry, this one has taunt and gives other cards taunt. So, who do I want to get rid of instead of that? This charge character, definitely, and the axe flamer. That one, and then that one, and maybe even one of those, because then I could give all my taunt creatures +1/+1. Yeah. If you have a minion with taunt, gain 1 durability. Wouldn't that be 9 instead of 10? Yeah, that's still not worth it. Although it is cheaper. Yeah, let's get rid of these and take that. Right. Now it comes down to the real question of which cards can't be reduced. Taunt. This is a 2 mana 3/2 with taunt. Is there any better 2 mana card with taunt? Well, a 2 mana 1/4, and then this one that does 1 damage. But otherwise, I think I'm good. Then this is a 3 mana 3/4. Versus a 3/3 there, or 1/4, or a 2/3 with a taunt and a rage for +3 attacks. Do I want that more? Yeah, I think I do. So I'll get rid of Fierce Monkey for the Killing Warrior. And this guy's weird. I don't know if I really should have him in my deck. he is the Arcsmith. He's summons a 0/5. Taunt. Here's one. Copy a friendly's minion attacks, health, and such. I don't think so. And 4 is a 3/5. The Arcanosmith actually is better than that, isn't it? I used to play Shunjin Shieldmaster quite a lot, and now I'm not. Interesting. Next one we have is an Enrage for 4, and then this is a mech. If you gain armor, this minion gains attack. And see, that's not related to the taunt. 1. You could get a 6/5 Lord of the Arena instead. But no, I kind of like the half taunt, half armor concept that's going on here. Then, do I have any beasts? Doesn't seem like any of the characters I'm playing are beasts. And then let's finally just go into crafting mode and take a step back and see if we're going in the right direction by looking at each card, including the ones we don't. Shield Slam, still want that, don't have it. Blood of Ichor would summon me a beast. Rampage would be good for damage. I feel like the warrior in particular, I have been all over the board. I've tried every single potential deck I think I can think of. The bouncing blade. I wish I had that, but apparently I don't. So, and none of them seem to work that well. It's weird. Definitely weird. Shuffle a mine into your opponent's deck. When they draw it, it explodes for 10 damage. Is there anything that would stop me from using this and doing multiple mines? Not really. Equip a random weapon. That would be somewhat helpful. Here's a charge guy with Enrage. And here's draw 3 cards. Any of the minions get summoned. Definitely wish I had that card. And as far as neutral things, I've been all over like the neutral cards that I want, and I don't think there's really too much more to talk about there. I could look at all the legendary 8s and aboves and just to save time. The fact now that I have this legendary character that gives me 5 other legendary characters allows me to experiment with potentially adding legendary characters to my decks and think about that in different ways. Of course, then that opens the door to making me want to get more dust, and there's really not a good way to get more dust at all. So, yeah. I think that's what we're gonna do. Half armor, half taunt. Let's try this custom warrior out. And that's the maximum 18 of 18 decks. Why they limit me to any number of decks is kind of ridiculous, but whatever. I should be able to archive decks, and I should be able to get statistics on default. Everything Hearthstone Deck Tracker does should automatically work and work a lot better and perfectly in Hearthstone. Which, by the way, I probably need to update that video on Hearthstone deck tracker, but I'm not going to have time to do it for quite a long time. 6 months to a year at least. Because I'm the settings now with Windows 10 Anniversary Edition update, anniversary update, change things, and there's been so many updates to Hearthstone deck tracker, how it's installed and what it looks like. Now is completely different, but it might be a lot easier to install and get running too. Particularly if you're not interested in recording yourself playing using open broadcast software, that takes most of the difficulty out of it.
Legions I command. Get in there and fight, maggot!
So, the weird thing is going to be
Job's done.
getting that 5 mana creature that gets increased attack when you get armor, and then playing a bunch of things to gain armor.
I'll show them all!
And I don't think you'll ever have a great combination there. Taunt, give a minion taunt.
Practice makes perfect. Job's done.
Killed that guy before I could do what I was trying to do. 5 armor, draw a
Job's
card.
done.
In the turn.
I taste blood.
This doesn't feel like it's going well. It really doesn't. When I've got, he's got a weapon and 3 characters on the field, and I've got nothing. Did I get a bad draw here, or have I simply put far too expensive of characters?
Job's done. I'm glorious!
It does feel like a mid-game or late game, when I should probably be playing more of a charge deck. Just charge through it. Because, yeah, this just doesn't feel like it's working.
I have an axe to grind. Job's done.
I don't remember this artwork. Is this a new card? It sounds like the same audio as another card.
I wonder.
They could be slowly adjusting the artwork on a lot of cards, and I probably wouldn't even recognize it. Yeah, he's just... I am totally losing.
May my ancestors watch over
This... Killed this guy. So yeah, that concept didn't seem like it felt like it worked at all. No. Let's go back. Let's type in the word charge and see what happens then. So, characters that actually have charge are just this one, and then this one gives charge minions +1 attack, this one gives minions charge, and this one's if you're holding a dragon you get a charge. But the other characters that have charge are neutral characters. I kind of think that's what we need. How many could I fit in this? Alright, this one, if I get rid of that, and then still put that in. And this one, and that one. This is a charge minion, but he's not really worth much. Let's see. Then we go that. There we are. This one's not guaranteed to have charge. That one has charge and taunt, so I'll definitely want to keep that. Do I want that? Nope. And I'm disconnected from the Battle.net service. Let's see if we can get back into it. Come on, game. Why did it disconnect me right then and there? I have no idea. Jeez.
Busy night, but there's always room for another.
And if it's just gonna disconnect me like that so abruptly, I almost certainly assume that any changes or such were not saved. So we charge that again. Stupid program. Let's see. No, I actually do want that card. I just clicked 3 times. Let's see. Take that and two of these because I only have one. Get rid of that. There. Armor, draw a card. And let's go and get rid of this weapon. Taunt creatures. Got them away. So this one maybe would have charge 50% of the time, and maybe wouldn't have charge 50% of the time. And do we still have Barnes? Get rid of that, because that's not going to help me much. Well, actually, I should keep Bolster, shouldn't I? Let's now look here. did accidentally remove barns. And we're now thinking about bolster. Let's see. Bolster, bolster, bolster. Where is bolster? Here it is. What card do I want to remove to have a second bolster? Your minions cannot be reduced to 1. Taunt, give us 1 taunt. There we go. So this will be an interesting attempt. The problem here, I think, is just that, yeah, we've already been through this. I think I'd just be repeating myself at this point to say it's because I don't have these cards. Yeah, I've already said that. And it's late. It's late. It's late. Even Hearthstone doesn't want me playing Hearthstone anymore, as you can tell, because it's disconnecting me. Let's give it one more attempt with the charges, and hopefully I'll get a very quick victory, and that'll be it for this recording session that's been very, very long, but not as bad as the last time, actually. This time it's only been about 12, maybe 13 hours. It was closer to 16 hours the last expansion I did. So either I've learned how to move a little bit faster, or there was less things to cover. I believe there was less things to cover because of the fact that this was a solo adventure expansion that only gave you a few cards. I think about 45, whereas the expansion before that gave a lot more, so there was a lot more to talk about.
I feel icky.
So maybe next expansion will take 16 hours again, and maybe I can figure out some smart way to not do all of that in one run. I don't know. Sad truth of it is, for YouTube, you have to move faster than the speed of light. You have to get everything out as soon as possible, or somebody else beats you to it. And when they beat you to it, then you're left with no views. I'm gonna hit this one so I can maybe get armor before this guy dies. This is interesting because anybody I bring out will have charge, won't they? Yeah, I guess they would. They'd be a 1-1 version of something with charge. Alright.
Tonight, a tale of terrible tragedy.
Well, the one thing that didn't have charge, but that's fine. That works. Actually, it works rather nicely.
For the gnomes.
I've got some protection going on. There goes my protection. Let's see. Who can I get? Charge.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry's here.
This.
On with the show!
Attack.
Yeah.
Now a charge deck, if it's gonna win, is gonna win early, and I'm already in the mid game in the 5th turn, so I'm not doing great even for a charge deck. I'm only done 6 damage. Let's see.
Charge forward.
Plus attack.
Ready to ride.
with the show.
Let's go ahead and kill that guy just to make sure I'm nice and safe. Next turn I could do 9 damage plus another 6, which would put me at 15 damage if nothing like that happens. When your minions can't be reduced to... Alright. I'll take this first. And I'll play this. And how do we want to
On with the show.
this? This. And then
Giddy up!
this. And
Taste my steel! Time's up. Let's do this.
this. Intro. 6 damage, or 6 life left for 31 on the 7th turn. All of a sudden it changed quite a bit. Of course he just got 14 back. This is gonna be a problem.
At least I am chicken.
Right. 3 damage is necessary. So this and 3 damage gives an armor. And now I need to do 5. So
On with the show.
Giddy up! My steel!
For the well song!
now it's 14 to 34 effectively on the 8th turn. Still not working great, but better than what I think I would have gotten with the taunt deck. Maybe get rid of the bolster. It's probably not necessary to have any bolsters, let alone 2. Let's see,
For the war chief!
4 something else.
Knowledge is power, and I know a lot.
For Hellscream!
For the well song!
For Hellscream! Taste my steel!
Interesting.
Job's done.
War song. So I'm gonna attack with these 2 characters right next to each other so they both argue about who it's for. Spell damage plus 5. Let's see. Alright. This
I learn.
increases spell damage.
So, here's where you're wrong.
For the well song!
For Hellscream!
So, here's where you're wrong.
En passant! Taste my steel!
victory. I guess maybe even bolster has its place as an experiment at least. Hey, and I managed to make it to rank 20 in wild play, which is nice because it's really it's the first day of the new month. If only I'd made it to rank 20 on standard play, but that's fine. That is perfectly fine. So, that is our deck rebuilds for everything. I've got them all done. I need to do some renaming. I need to reprogram everything into the Hearthstone deck tracker program, so it'll start working for my regular episodes. In general, just to quickly wrap it up, I still feel like it was really easy to do all of these boss battles, and the class challenges were pretty easy too. I was able to beat every single battle with my Murloc deck without changing a single thing. I never bothered to do the heroic thing, so it is partially my fault that I feel like it's easy, because I don't sit there and waste a bunch of time playing all the battles way more difficult just for a card back. But at the end of the day, the reward you get of Lord Malcheser is such a game-changing, broken card. You've got to get it. So either spend the 1600 dust, which might be very difficult for a lot of people. You may have to go here and just start disenchanting things that you don't use and losing a lot of cards that way. And that is not a good way to play at all. Although, it might actually be a good strategy to getting legendary cards if you did get rid of a bunch of cards you played with and then open card packs to replace them, but it may not work that way, and it's a losing proposition either way, because you always get less than what it costs to enchant by a lot. You need that Lord Malcheser card. You definitely need it. The Malcheser. Let's see. You don't get a lot of other cards that really matter, but Prince Malcheser, yeah. You need this card in every single deck if you're going to continue playing ranked at all. I imagine in less than a week it will be somewhere close to 80-90% of all players will have this in every deck they play. It's so broken. Until this card gets changed or banned, which I imagine it will get changed, you need it. Maybe you need Barnes in your deck too. I'm experimenting with them. And there are a decent amount of other expansions of other cards to play with. Not enough of them, in my mind. Don't worry about Purify. I will point that out too. People that think Purify is the worst card ever, Lord Malcheser is the worst card ever. It is way worse because it's changed the game now in a very strange way. So yeah, hopefully, if you can't do anything now, my recommendation, save up at least 5,000 gold by doing all the quests. And every 3 days come in and do all the quests, save up 5,000 gold, you should be able to easily afford the next expansion that's a solo adventure with just gold that way. And if it's a expansion that's just a deck expansion, 5,000 gold will get you 50 packs, which gets you about halfway there, which is about as far as you're going to get purchasing packs, and then the rest of the way you have to struggle through making with dust and just over time. Also do Tavern Brawls, they give you card packs, and Arena Runs will give you card packs too, so that's another way you can get more card packs and get more cards. That is it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out and tells YouTube that my videos are worth watching. If you want to support me even further than that, you can click on my name, Rydo. That'll take you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. You can click that and make a donation. Also on my main YouTube page is a playlist tab. You can click that and see a playlist for every single game I've ever covered. And there is a lot of them, so go check those out. That would help me out a lot. You can also help me out by friending and following me on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+. Friend me on Steam. Friend me here on Battle.net. All those links are down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.